Oh my gosh, the pressure. I feel like my ideas were to live life by my own terms, right? Instead of in the structure of being an employee, to go out on my own as an entrepreneur, and just allow myself a lot more room for ideas. So it's not necessarily one or two ideas, it's an ongoing evolution of thoughts.
How long has it been since you started that?
12 years, Robert. Pony Friday just turned 12. I did not think that we were going to make 10. So I feel like I'm in miracle years.
Yeah, great. So you wrote a book about your beginnings and your journey, if I understand correctly.
I did. It's called Behave Boldly. Your dreams won't chase themselves. And it's a time capsule of probably ideas gone wrong and early thoughts of immaturity and naivety that comes with being a younger entrepreneur. And I started in my 30s, so I wasn't even super young, but I can look back at what I've written and think, oh, well, you know what? I'm a little wiser than that now. So there's some evolution. And you always talk about ideas being cheap, Robert, and I think it's true. We all have thoughts of grand things, but actually implementing them is where the challenge starts, because we can all think of great grand ideas, but can we actually bring them to life?
Excellent. So we a lot of times entrepreneurs talk about, if I would be younger again, I would give myself this advice. I'm not really sure that it works that way. What do you think? Can you give yourself? Would you be able to give yourself advice 12 years ago, and would you understand yourself? And could you take that advice?
I feel like as you get older, you kind of mature into a more cautionary version because you've had a few more bumps in the road. And I feel like it's almost like hearing an adult or a parent give you advice. I don't know that my younger self would want to hear it. I don't think that I would want to listen.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah,
like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it would be really challenging.
yeah. Well, I thought I have also been an entrepreneur for a long time, and also an employee, and I always kind of challenged myself with things that I was not prepared for. I didn't have the right skills. I never applied for a job that was within my skills and my expertise. I always have to improve to be good at my job and as an entrepreneur. And I think that's for some people, not for everyone, but for some people, that's the right choice to somehow force you to grow and to learn more and be better. And it's the kind of life I think we should live, most of the people.
I question, Robert, do you think that you would have been attracted to a job that you already had the skills for?
I don't think so. No, I'm not that
Right.
kind of.
So you're looking for an opportunity to grow and you're choosing opportunities that look appealing. Like, I could be more like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. I agree with you. I think that for me, a huge part of the appeal for entrepreneurship is wide open spaces to kind of figure your own stuff out and become more of who you might have been, instead of in the confines of an employment relationship. There's more restrictions as to how you can blossom.
Excellent. Because I find that words sometimes true when they say some people stopped living at 25 and just get not buried until 87. And I know a couple
Well,
of
you
those.
you know a couple.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't. Maybe I have met these people and just didn't know it. I always tell my friends that I plan to peak at 80, so that all of what I'm doing is just getting me to my peak. Because, there's a lot of athletes that kind of peak at 25. And I think, well, if you're living like what, 25% of your life, and then you've already accomplished what is your best, and you've decided that you can't accomplish more, to me, that's a really downer way to live. So I always say, well, I'm going to plan to peak at 80. So everything in between here is I'm not quite at my peak yet.
Excellent, excellent. I like that, and I was always into sports and things like that. But I'm 58, and I have never been in better physical shape than today.
Okay, so I want to know your secret. How do you get to be in better physical shape in your late 50s compared to when you were younger?
Well, it's easy. I make challenges, and
Okay, like
uh,
example. Give us some examples.
yes, of course. I was really impressed with the 1% being 1% better, because
Mm-hmm.
if you are 1% better every day, you end up 37 times better in 1 year if you could be consistent.
Oh, sure,
Uh,
yeah.
and of course, it's a lot, and I don't know if that's real at all possible. If you would perhaps do just that, perhaps you can manage. And I started a challenge to be 1% better every day in doing push-ups and squats, and of course, I failed. Uh, but I came to the position, or to the level, that I do 150 push-ups and squats every week.
Okay, question. How
Yeah,
many push-ups could you do before you started this challenge?
10, 50, 30, perhaps.
Okay, so 30 in a row.
Yeah,
Okay, that's pretty impressive for most adults. I feel like
yeah.
most adults can't do 30 push-ups in a row. Okay, so, and then you were saying you failed at your habit.
Yes,
What
I
does that
failed
mean?
with being 37% better, 37 times better. But
Okay.
I gained that thing that I am in pretty good physical shape right now.
Right. So even if you set a big goal and you don't quite hit it, if you get further, you're ahead. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's like we shouldn't not set big goals. If
yeah.
the goal is too lofty and we miss it, but we're still further ahead, that's still winning.
Absolutely, absolutely. I had another challenge. I think I thought talked about this on several of these occasions, but it's really interesting. I'm an introvert. I could be with people and not talk at all for hours, and I wouldn't feel really awkward. I put myself in the challenge to talk to 100 CEOs in the last 4 years of 4 months in 2023, and I failed again. But I talked to 67, and at the beginning it was like I was praying for the people not to appear on the Zoom calls because I was, what will I say? I'm so embarrassed. It's awful. Why have I put myself into this? And
Right.
after a few talks, I saw that people are enjoying our talks, that are they are interested, and we can share ideas, we can share knowledge, and we can help each other. I have some great networks. I create a great network, and I know people who can do this, and I can connect them to somebody who needs it, and it's really satisfying to do that and help people with that.
Okay, so just I feel like people didn't catch all of that. There's so much there. So you set out to talk to 100 CEOs in 4 months,
Yeah,
right? That's a huge, huge undertaking. And you did 67. And the first few felt awful. I want to know why you didn't quit, because most people, I would say the majority of people, especially with New Year's resolutions or big things that they take on, they quit. So what stopped you from quitting?
A good one. Perhaps it was the case that I hired a virtual assistant who was making appointments to me and pushed me into that.
Right. Okay. But I mean, you could call in sick. You could
Yeah,
reschedule. Like, there are millions of reasons that you could come up with to bail
yeah.
on a project, a
I think,
goal. So,
yeah, I think one of the things is that I realized when I was doing the workouts is that I usually start with the run because I like running, and I have
okay.
the minimum of 2 kilometers of run,
Okay.
and for the warm up, and I encountered that a lot of times that when I came to the gym or to the track and start running, and I was okay today, I will just do the running and I'll quit. It's okay. And when I start running, it becomes better and better and better, and I run even for 10, 20 kilometers and then do the killer workout. But at the beginning it was awful, and I said, okay,
Yeah.
perhaps this is the way it will be here too, and it was. So
Right.
yeah,
That you started to expect it to be awful.
yeah, and I think the thing is that when you repeat something that you are uncomfortable doing, it became more and more comfortable, and sometimes you become addicted with this. I really I cannot do a week without workout. It's like
Okay.
a wasted week.
Okay, so that sounds like a very positive addiction. I
Hmm.
mean, I think that some people can take their workout addiction too far. But what other things, habits, or ways of being have you become, quote unquote, addicted to, that were previously something that you thought is awful, or even now, like maybe now you still think it's awful to start running?
Well, no, that's the thing that I know. Okay, this is I'm going to feel better after this. So just go with the flow, believe in the process, and it will bring me there. Like if you go to the store for milk or something, you just go to that path and you'll get there eventually. And there's no way you could fail at this, and
Mm.
that's the same here. And the other thing is I take challenges. I have the KPI of number of fails, and I want to fail at
Mm.
least once a week or once in 2 weeks, because it tells me that I tried something new, something different. Because I don't want to die at 25.
Well, I think that you've surpassed the not diet 25 goal. You've doubled it, over doubled it. What I'm actually curious about is how you define a fail. I had this conversation recently about, okay, well, yes, we want to embrace fails, we want to do that, but what qualifies as a fail to you, Robert?
Well, actually, I think we overemphasize this fail term in its essence. Like, okay, like I said, I wanted to talk to 100 CEOs. I failed with this
Mm,
particular goal, but the path was what counts. And if
mm-hmm.
you if you set a big goal and you enjoy the path, uh, at least at the end or towards the goal, you'll probably not always enjoy it at the beginning, but when you get used to it, it's really great. If you it doesn't really matter if you fail uh, to reach the goal itself, but the win is in the path and
Right.
in joining the path.
So what about the path is the win for you?
Well, whatever you do, whatever you try to improve or change and get the experience is that win. Because if you go to the holidays, you have the experience, you enjoy it, and
Mm,
it's some kind of win. And if you perceive your life like that, for me, work and free time balance is an oxymoron. I want to enjoy in what I do, in how I work, and if you do that, if you want to do your work the best you can do at that moment, and you try it and you try extra mile with everything you do,
mm,
it's satisfying and you enjoy it, and then you don't really need that. Um, Life work for and free time balance, because you are 8 hours, you sleep 8 hours, you're 8 hours at work if you work 9 to 5, and you have 8 hours of free time, and if you have to commute to your work it's even less. So
mm-hmm.
you just have to 8 hours for living. It's kind of small.
Well, yeah, and I sleep longer, so that eats out of the time. But I always think of it as life balance because,
Yeah,
like, you're right, work is part of your existence, so we shouldn't separate it.
yeah,
It should definitely be seen holistically.
yeah.
And I find that as an entrepreneur, I am able to balance that a lot better. And perfect balance is a little bit of a fantasy for anyone because as soon as you've achieved a balance of some sort, like equilibrium in your life, some other factor comes in. There's a change that has been forced on you, whether you have to become a caregiver for someone in your family or for a pet. And there's shifts, or your clients have changed and your relationships have adjusted because your client contact is different. Those sorts of things. We're always looking to maintain a balance and work towards a balance. And I do find it easier as an entrepreneur.
Agree, 100%. And I think that's the essence and the goal of the entrepreneurship, is
Mm-hmm.
uh, to have more control of this.
Yes.
It's not for absolutely not for everybody, but I think it's the easiest ever in the history of
Well,
humankind to be an entrepreneur. I
if
think.
you, yeah, if you can do it from virtual, then for
Yeah,
sure, for
but also
sure.
also physical. I think also for physical. I saw videos on TikTok from the plumber who has recurring customers who is charging monthly fees for his
Oh,
services. I was impressed totally,
yeah,
really.
that sounds great.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
Uh,
it just to be on emergency on your, I'll prioritize your plumbing
No, no,
problem?
no. He just, because plumbing is one of the things that is really, really annoying when it goes wrong or when you have problems
Yeah.
with that. And if you have somebody who is really good at that, and you can count on him, and who gives you the inspection of your plumbing, and
Mm-hmm.
can do really good job, better than everybody else, it's kind of easier for you to pay more and pay monthly, to be
Oh,
sure
sure.
and to be calm. Okay, everything will be good.
Right. That's that's fascinating. And as an entrepreneur, you do get to define how your business operates, and you get to also learn if society will support how you want to operate or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think of entrepreneurship and business and everything. You have it's like that chart of a heartbeat. If it doesn't go up and
Mm.
down, you're dead. If it would always be the straight line. It
Oh, so
wouldn't be
you're
interesting.
saying that, just so I'm clear, you're saying that a business should go up and down.
Absolutely.
Why? Because everyone's fantasy is it just goes up. That's
Uh,
the fantasy, Robert.
yes.
Why would you want it to go up and down?
What they say, you don't you have to have rainy days and sunny days. If you it would be always sunny, you wouldn't have rain, you wouldn't have water, you wouldn't appreciate sun anymore
Mm.
because it would be always there. And that's the kind how we are wired. So we have
Mm.
to have these ups and downs.
Oh, I like that. Going back to what you were saying about it, like it's the experience. I think it's who you become because of the experience as well. Like that's a huge part of it. Because for me, I feel like it's less about the journey with Pony Friday and more about who I have evolved into over 12 years.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's because if you like we said before, if you have the goal,
Mm,
that's when you came to that goal, uh, you're empty, you don't know where to go further. But
right.
if you just enjoy the journey and get better and better and better, and when you came to somewhere, you get another light, how does it call, lighthouse, when you're going towards. So you're always on the journey, and there is
Yes.
always ups and downs, and you're never, because I think Simon Sinek explained about finite and not finite games, and life is not a finite game. It's not like a
Mm,
chess when you have checkmate or something like that. You have to live it until the end, and you don't
right.
know where the end is. So better enjoy living it.
Right. Yeah, the ups and downs make the path a little bit more interesting for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Uh, and maybe like the roller coaster, you get terrified at certain points.
yeah, of course.
Oh, I'm elated. No, just kidding. I'm terrified.
Okay,
Uh,
tell me. I think you haven't told me yet. What's Pony Friday all about? What do you help people with, or what do you provide?
so Pony Friday is designed to be a little bit ambiguous so that I have room to kind of spread my wings and try a bunch of things. Because of my history in creative departments of ad agencies, I've done a lot of marketing and branding work for mostly membership organizations, actually. And that has been where Pony Friday has made most of its revenue from. Uh, because I wanted Pony Friday to be a lifestyle experience for me. And I also felt it was beneficial to, I, I had service experience as an entrepreneur, but I didn't have product experience. So I launched a product line. So there's a merch line for Pony Friday. We have a little boutique with some swag and stuff, which is really fun. And it gave me a chance to experience a side of business that some of my clients have, but I hadn't actually experienced firsthand with pop up shops and stuff. And then because I deal with a lot of membership organizations, I started to get really curious about what it would be to host a membership. So 4 years ago, I launched Kiss My Pony, which is a membership platform, community for personal growth and creative development for creative entrepreneurs. And I love hosting that. It's not, there's no guru. We're all kind of in a gym working out together, and it's priced like a gym, like a fitness center, so that you don't have to go all the time and feel like you're not getting your money's worth, which is wonderful. And there's no advertising, and it's closed. So you can, if you are introverted, a lot of creatives are, you can feel um, kind of at ease in there because it's not busy like a regular social media platform. And I feel like Pony Friday's a whole existence for me is just to continue to evolve and expand and blossom in new ways.
Just give me 1 second. I have to open the door.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I'm having this wonderful chat with Robert, and Robert likes to talk about how ideas are cheap. And I agree with him because it is the making your ideas happen and bringing them to life that will cost you time and money. Pony Friday has been quite the time adventure for me, for sure. What?
Yeah.
Sorry, Robert, what's the biggest idea that you have brought into the world?
Well, I actually deal a lot with how to start a business as an entrepreneur or want to be entrepreneur, and I'm currently really deep into the idea that you can start it with without a product, without a service, just with a basically landing page, and validate it with the paid pre-launch.
Okay.
You
what
have, yeah.
If you don't have a product and you don't have a service, how are you launching? What are you selling?
Well, it's really simple. I have the idea. I don't know. I want to sell. I don't know, a book. I haven't read it yet. I want to sell a book, and I say, okay, the book will be out on the end of December 2024. It will cost $30. You can buy it now for $5. And if I get and if I get I make a interesting cover page and title and things like that, and content, at least what it will be about. And if I have, I don't know, 100 200 customers who paid for it, this $5, I said, okay, this will be interesting, and I'll do that until the end of the year. If I don't, I'll say, okay, it might not be that good idea, and I just return the money.
So you're talking about proof of concept to test your ideas before you launch.
Yeah.
I love that. It makes me really uncomfortable as a person, because part of it is that if a lot of people, like, I feel like if I'm not on the train and I haven't bought in myself, because if I bought into it myself, I would already be in the process of making it. And if I pre-sell it to people and it's not finished, my anxiety just goes up because there's so much more pressure for somebody wanting that from me. I get anxiety when there's a Pony Friday merch order in the store, because it means I have to, in a timely manner, ship something to someone that they committed to for me. like I feel like I just have these anxiety peaks with people's expectations.
Yes. So most of the people struggle with that, especially they struggle with the concept of I have to be perfect. I have to be, but you never are, because you're what you know today is far less than you know after a week, after a month, after a year. So you will never be perfect. So do it right now with the idea that you have, and try it.
Oh, that's such a wise concept. Yes. I'll try to embrace it and try to see all the anxiety that bubbles up as red flags that perfection is around.
Yes, I think that's a lie to yourself and to the surroundings. If you say, I don't, I can't do it. I'm a perfectionist. It's just what you said, the anxiety that okay, I will not deliver. It is not perfect. This is not this. It is not that. But there is somebody. if you prove your concept, there are people out there who need this, and who
Yes.
you help with your product, service, book, whatever you do. And
Yeah.
why keep it for yourself, and you basically stealing from them.
Oh, you're stealing from them because you didn't put your idea out there because
Yeah,
it wasn't perfect.
yeah.
Oh, ouch. So, okay, look back because I know none of us are perfect. So, Robert, when you talk about theft, what are you currently stealing from people by not putting it out there?
Well, I'm pulling down out everything I can.
Okay. Okay. So
especially
what do you
especially
have out
yeah.
there right now?
Especially this idea. I'm working on it. I'm preparing the workshops for this,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that really it's the mindset. It's a little technical stuff, but this can I can do for people. But it's basically the mindset that holds
Mm-hmm.
people back with this idea and with this process. And not really the money, because you only need a little time. The money is basically you prepare the domain and the landing page, and that's basically it. You don't have to make advertising. You can do organic posts for rich people to make the splash, and you can test it really quickly. Because if you have the idea, a lot of people think, okay, but somebody will steal it. uh,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
Yeah, that's a real fear. That's a fear. Yeah.
Yeah, and but the fact is that if you have the idea, at least 5 or 10 or 500 people, other people, have the same
Sure.
idea, and
Sure.
perhaps some of them are already uh, doing something about it,
Sure.
and so don't don't wait, just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That there should be a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Um, I think we all struggle with that fact that we're not as unique as we want to think we are.
Yeah. Yes, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Even if you see in the past where the information were not so easy to find and to
Sure.
get the ideas. For instance, in every big invention, for instance, for the light bulbs or the telephone, there were always at least two scientists who, in the different parts of world, who were doing on the same thing, not even knowing about
Sure.
each
Yeah.
other or competing or things like that. But today it's hard to even imagine that you have so unique idea that somebody has to steal it. It's just the implementation that counts.
I like that thought a lot because everyone seems to have their own community at the moment. It's very it's very popular to have your own community at the moment, and it's gotten easier to have a dedicated space for your members. And I have had that thought a lot of just like, well, how many people do you have to have inside your community for it to be successful? And for me, I really just need a couple of people to feel a sense of community, that we're spending time together and we're getting the benefits of mingling together and working on stuff. Because a lot of people know theory of personal growth, they know theories of mindset, but unless you're rubbing shoulders with other people trying to put it into action, then you're not getting anywhere. It's just theory. And a lot of people have the theory down pat, but very few people put that into action.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how can people support your latest idea, Robert?
Well, first and the easiest way is to join the workshop. I
Hmm.
think the first will be next Wednesday,
Okay.
and I think then every Wednesday for at least a few months.
How did they join the workshop?
I'll post about it on LinkedIn. Basically, I'm mainly on LinkedIn, and they'll see it.
Excellent. And what's the topic of the first workshop?
How to make an order and offer and get paid for it.
Oh, nice. So it's all about money.
Uh, Yes, but not just money, because I
Okay.
think the money is the oxygen of the business, and a lot of entrepreneurs start with the wrong assumption that they don't
Mm.
need to make money, and they put some
Mm.
money at the beginning, and they don't think about how to get it back. And
Sure.
but the this is the first premise, but the real difference between uh, how to start at the beginning is that
Mm-hmm.
people think that if they give some stuff for free, uh, then they'll have the buyers, or they do polls and ask people, would you buy this product and things like that, but you don't get the right answer from this question. The right answer is when you put the money on it.
Oh, yeah. So many people will tell you that they'll support you,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
never know the truth until somebody swipes a card. You
exactly.
never have the, because people will tell me that they want to make a Pony Friday order. People will ask me all of these questions about stuff, and I will never see them. I will never see them. Even this I find even more interesting is my Kiss My Pony community. For over the last 4 years, I've seen some interesting behavior with people who really do want personal growth. They talk about it, they've read all the books, and they think, oh, it would be great to be in this mindset gym with others. They'll pay Robert and they will never show up.
Mhm.
Never. So
Yeah,
I'll take their money and I'll never see them. I can reach out to them, I can try and engage them, but they're not showing up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's the big. This is the big difference. People don't know that the difference between $0 and $1 is much bigger than from $1 to 1,000 or 10,000.
True. True. Yeah, to get your first validation of your concept.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, that's what your course is next week, about getting validation
Yeah.
in the form of money, in the form that it matters in.
Yeah.
You don't need praise. You need someone to swipe a card and say,
Exactly.
I believe in you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, interesting.
How about Pony Friday? How can the listeners help you?
How can they help me? Well, I mean, I always like merch sales for sure, because I was just telling you how much anxiety I get when somebody makes an order. So that's fun. No, I think with Pony Friday, like, I am really passionate right now about the community I'm hosting with Kiss My Pony, which is part of the Pony Friday brand. I'm always looking to talk to new clients in kind of the branding space. I have membership organizations that I support, and those membership organizations have a board of directors, a CEO, a marketing director. They have their own internal design teams and social media. So I am like a plugin that assists with what's already there when you want to turbo boost something or add some pony power, and really have an outside perspective from someone who has worked in ad agencies, who has a different experience. And maybe you can't afford to, or you don't need to have that kind of talent in house. And we just kind of work together sometimes on a project. I've had more retainer clients recently where I'm an external consultant that does some support stuff. If it's a bigger campaign that you're trying to launch and you just don't have the capacity to do it, I'm always interested in having conversations and meeting new people who are working on fun stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So if somebody is on the journey like I was with 100 CEOs, here's the list.
Yeah.
Call her or me.
Exactly. Exactly. If you want to have a chat, I always have room in my calendar for a Zoom call.
Excellent. So we are okay, 9 minutes above our
Oh,
time.
we're over. Woo!
Yeah, it was fun, and we should repeat it.
We
Uh,
should. Yes, it
yeah,
was a good time. We can talk more about our failures and how we're getting people to actually swipe their credit cards.
absolutely, absolutely.
Perfect.
So
Thanks
time
for
for
having me, Robert. It was super
okay.
fun.
Yeah, it was. Thank for being here and share your story and for excellent questions and answers. And uh, we have to deal with the niche sometimes because this is the question. But let's do it another time. Okay.
Okay. No, that
Thank,
sounds great. All
thank
right.
you and have a
Talk to you
nice day.
then.
Bye.
Bye.